Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mana Cave. My name is Ed.
My name's Travis.
And we are continuing on with the Challenger Deck, the 2019 Challenger Deck Showdown. This is the loser bracket.
Neither of these decks are losers.
No, all the decks in the Challenger Deck series are winners in my book. But some are more winners than others. And these are less
By
winners.
the rules and
yes,
all. Yeah.
These are less winners than the actual winners were winners. So that's why we call them the losers. Right? It makes sense. Sure. Now, what are the losers that we're playing?
It's the mono white deck. Its name is
United
Assault?
Yes, there you go. Yes.
And I have this deck in Arena, so I should totally know what it is.
And mine is the Arcane Tempo deck. So both these decks are strong. They're strong decks. It's just that they just weren't able to be stronger than their initial opponents. So I think this is still going to be a really good matchup. And once again, I think this leaves the only matchup that's not going to end up happening is Lightning Aggro versus United Assault. I think that's the only match that's not going to happen. So what we'll probably try to do, because some people have asked for that in the comment section, what we'll try to do is maybe try to get Travis to jump on Magic Arena, since you already have the United Assault deck already built. And then maybe we'll do that one as another Magic Arena sort of thing. So, but in the meantime, we do have Arcane Tempo versus United Assault. And Travis, do you have anything that you want to say before we kick things off?
I have literally nothing to say about this deck because it is beautifully straightforward and clear.
Yes.
There's no color mana screwing. I mean, you can still end up flooding or getting only two when you need that third one for that.
Yeah.
But now that's Marshall. But no, otherwise you're pretty much it's clear sails.
Yeah. And these both have sideboards, so after the first game we may end up sideboarding depending on what we decide we need against the other deck. And the last thing is, if you're watching this and wondering why we're sort of jumping from Planeswalker Deck Showdown to the Guild Kit Showdown to the Challenger Deck Showdown, back to the Guild Kit Showdown, back to the Challenger Deck Showdown, it's because it's basically we're just trying to record these as we can, and I want to get at least one of the Showdown series out of the way right now. So that's why we're jumping back to the Challenger Deck Showdown. At the end of this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the state of the Guild Kit Showdown, as well as what's going to be happening with the Planeswalker Deck Showdown now that M20 is coming out, and they're releasing an odd number of Planeswalker decks. So I'll talk a little bit about that, but I'll talk about that at the end of the video. So if you want to hear about some of the other showdowns that are going on and maybe the schedule as far as the release of those, you might want to stick around to the end of this match. I think that's it. We didn't talk for very long at the beginning of this, which is kind of nice, I think, for some people. It's kind of refreshing. Now, we haven't rolled to see who goes first. We have determined our opening hands, and you kept 7?
I kept 7.
I'm at 6, and I'm going to scry 1, but I still think my hand is pretty decent for 6. So we're going to roll to see who goes first. 9. 5. So at least here I won something right at the beginning. Kind of happy about that. So because I'm going to get to go first, I'm going to show first, and I will show you folks.
Bow my head.
Bow your head, sir. You bow to me. So this is my opening hand, which once again for a 6 card opening hand, not the worst, not the best. You get to scry. I'm going to do that right now, and we'll see what's on top. That is on top, and you know what? I think it can actually stay there. That's its new home, is the top of the deck. Travis?
You.
Rise your head up. Rise your head up or raise your head up, whichever you want to do, and then show the folks at home what you got going on.
That is the unglaring, I'm hoping, version of what I got going on. Get the right angle. There it all is. There it is, in its majesty. Hands are down.
There we go.
Head back up.
I thought of doing this in a slightly different way, where we show our hands, but not have it actually, that part of it being shown on camera. And then so we start talking and then our hands are being shown just sort of seamlessly. That's sort of what happens. If you end up watching the Keyforge games, that's what sort of happens. You don't see Steve and I showing our hands to the camera. The cards just appear because I've edited that part out. Maybe I'll incorporate that in with the Mana Cave. There is no need for me to talk about that. We're wasting time, Travis. We're wasting time. Let's get going. Okay. I start off, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to play an island, and I'm going to pass the turn to you.
I'll draw. I'll play a Plains, a Dominaria one apparently. I'll tap that Dominaria Plains for a Healer's Hawk, 1/1 flyer with lifelink for 1 mana.
Nice.
Back at you, sir.
End step, tap, and I'm going to opt. So I'm going to scry 1 and then draw a card. So scry 1, I know it's on top. I'm going to put it on top. I'm going to draw this card. Opt goes to the grave. Now it's my turn. Untap.
Now it's my turn.
Draw. I'm going to play a mountain. You're gonna did you drop a card there?
I dropped a card.
You're so
there.
excited you're dropping cards, huh?
It's slick sleeves.
What do I want to do here? You know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna tap for 2, including a blue and a red. I'm gonna bring out the Goblin Electromancer. So it's a 2/2 Goblin Wizard. Instant and sorcery spells I cast cost 1 colorless less to cast. Travis, pass the turn to you.
Untap. Draw. Play a plains that I just drew.
Hey, nice.
Tap both those for a Johnny's Pride Mate.
Oh, man.
Whenever I gain life, I play a +1 counter on a Johnny's Pride Mate. It's a better bear.
Yeah.
So 2/2 for 2 mana. I am going to go to combat.
Okay.
I'm going to swing in with my Healer's Hawk.
Swing in with the Healer's Hawk. So I'm going to take 1. I'm going down to 19.
Gain 1. Bing!
Which
and
then...
I'm going to drop that counter on that Pride Mate.
So now it's the 3/3.
It is. It's slightly swole. However, you have lots of cards there that can sure take care of it. I pass back to you.
Oh, okay. So untap. Draw. I will play an Izzet Guildgate, which is going to enter the battlefield tapped, and I can tap it for either blue or red. I'm going to move to combat.
Okay.
I'm going to swing in with the Goblin Electromancer.
There are no blocks.
No blocks. So you're going to take 2.
Drop down to 19.
I will then pay 1 blue to cast Chart a Course. Draw 2 cards, then discard a card unless you attacked with a creature this turn. Now, I did attack with a creature this turn, so I do get to draw 2 cards, and I don't have to discard.
Successfully attacked the creature.
Yes, indeed, sir. And now, I'm going to pass the turn back to you.
1 red mana untapped, huh? Untap. Draw. Play another plains I just got off top of
There we go.
my deck there. I'm going to tap 2.
Okay.
For Johnny's Pride Mate.
Ah, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go to combat.
Okay. Pre-combat, I'm going to tap 1 mountain, and I'm going to cast Shock to deal 2 damage to any target. I'm going to deal to your Hawk.
Hawk down.
Hawk down.
White Hawk down. Okay. I'm still going to combat, though.
Still going to combat.
Swinging for 3.
Swinging for 3. I'm down to 16.
And then I am going to tap 1 for an enchantment called Legion's Landing.
Nice.
Enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 vampire creature token with lifelink. When you attack with 3 or more creatures, transform Legion's Landing into a card that we may or may not see. So I'm going to create a 1/1 white vampire creature token.
With lifelink. Yes.
With lifelink. That's my turn.
Okay.
Back to you, sir.
Alrighty. Untap everything. Draw. Interesting. I'm going to play an island. Now you'll be gaining 1 life still with that vampire.
Who to burn, who to burn.
You know what? I'm going to tap for 4. And I'm going to play the Arclight Phoenix. It is a 3/2 flying phoenix with haste. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you cast 3 or more instants and or sorcery spells this turn, return Arclight Phoenix from your graveyard to the battlefield.
It's not going away anytime soon.
You know what? I'm not going to attack. I'm going to pass the turn to you.
Okay. Untap. Draw. Okay. I'm going to play another plains.
Okay.
That one was in my hand from earlier. Not to tip my hat.
Hand.
And
Tip your hand.
tapping for 3 for the Banalish Marshal. So at least my dude is going to trade if he gets blocked.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
I'm going to go to combat.
Okay.
Swinging with the team.
Okay. Swinging with all of them?
Maybe I'll keep him back to get him up to a 3/3, or I could trade with either of your creatures, in theory. I'll take... No, because he's 3/3. Forgot about Banalish Marshal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So he's a 3/3, he's a 4/4, that's a 2/2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, before we do anything, though, whenever you attack with 3 more creatures, that has happened.
Yes.
That cannot unhappen.
So now that is going to flip
Into a land, which I can tap for white mana, or I can tap 2 and 2 a white and that, and create a 1/1 white vampire creature token with lifelink.
Yes, indeed.
But it's also, I can still tap it for. So I do have 2 manas available.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Phoenix in front of the now 3/3 Ajani because of the Marshall, and I'm going to put my 2/2 Goblin in front of your now 2/2 lifelinking Vampire.
Okay.
So damage is going to go through. These are going to trade.
Yeah.
You are going to gain 2 life. I'm going to lose 4, which puts me down to 12. And then the Ajani that lives is going to get another +1/+1 counter, correct?
The Johnny who lives.
The Ajani who lives.
So he's now up to a 5/5.
Yes, indeed. That's one buff Johnny.
Okay. I'm going to tap 2 mana, because I can still tap
that's
that,
right too, yeah, because that's not a land, yeah.
for the Adonto Vanguard.
Yes.
He's a 1/1 vampire soldier, and as long as he's attacking, he attacks as a 3/1. I can pay 4 life, and he gains indestructible to end a turn.
Yes.
So much like your Phoenix, he's probably not going anywhere anytime soon. I am tapped out. I have 1 card left in hand, and I'll pass back to you.
Okay.
I'll just move him on up there to get shocked. Or striked.
Striked.
Strike isn't in your deck, but there's that other 2 mana costed one, I believe.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to pay 1 blue, and I'm going to opt right now. So that's scry 1 and then draw a card. So scry 1. Put that back on top, and then I'm going to draw a card. That goes to my graveyard. So that's 1 spell I've cast so far. I'm then going to play a Sulphur Falls, and enters the battlefield tapped unless I control an island or a mountain. Oh, and I can tap it for either blue or red. So I do have an island or a mountain, so it does not have to be tapped. I then think I'm going to do this. I'm going to tap for a red and a blue. I'm going to bring out Goblin Electromancer. I'm then going to tap for 1 blue and cast Radical Idea because I get the discount from Goblin Electromancer. So Radical Idea is draw a card and then Jumpstart, which means that Jumpstart, you may cast this card from your graveyard by discovering or discarding a card in addition to paying its other costs, then exile this card. So that's going to go into the graveyard. That's the second spell I've cast. I'm going to draw a card. And then I'm going to pay 1 blue for another Radical Idea with a discount. So that's going to go in. Jumpstart. I get to draw a card. And as well, too, that is the third instant or sorcery I cast, which means Arc-like Phoenix rises much like a phoenix from the graveyard back onto the battlefield, raring and ready to go. Still not in the greatest of shape, but
you did a lot of stuff.
I did a lot of stuff.
And you drew at least 2 cards.
Yeah, and I got a Phoenix back, so I got at least another chump blocker back, right? I'm now going to pass the turn to you. Now, you also don't have anything left on the board right now, at least, that has lifelink, which is good for me.
It's not a chump blocker if it, can trade.
This is true.
Legit blocker.
It is. It's a legit blocker.
Okay, tapping. We're playing the plains. Tapping 1 plains for the Sky Marcher Aspirant. Now, the reason I did that ahead of combat is because at this moment, I will have Ascend.
That's right. So 1, 2, 3,
I believe
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that makes it 10.
Exactly.
It's its own 10.
And that never goes away.
Yes.
So he's always going to be a 2/1 flyer.
So you now have... Oh, you know what? Ahead of time, I was like, I got to grab all the tokens we may need and set them aside. And I actually forgot to grab the City's Blessing, even though I know I have a City's Blessings token around here somewhere. But you do now have the City's Blessing. There'll be a little thing appearing beside Travis's screen, this little video box showing that he has the City's Blessing. So, okay, so now that has got flying, and it's now a
3/2.
3/2, okay.
Because of the Benalash Marshal.
Okay.
So I am going to go to combat.
Go to combat.
Swinging forth with those 2.
So that's a 5/5 now, right?
5/5. And this is a 3/4/1. 4/2. 4/2.
Yes. Okay. I am going to put both of these in front of your 5/5 Ajani's Pridemate.
Okay.
Okay, so damage goes through.
Yep.
I'm going to take 4, which is going to put me down to 8. These are both going to die, but your Johnny's Pridemate dies as well, too.
That's my British.
Worst time talking ever. Okay.
Back to you.
Back to me. Oh, man.
Crikey, I've lost my pride, mate.
Oh, this is so nasty for me. Okay, well, I'm going to play an Izzet Guild Gate. Enters the battlefield tapped. You're currently hellbent, correct?
I am currently hellbent.
Okay, I'm going to do this now just because I know you have certain tricks in hand which can prevent things from happening on your turn. I'm going to actually just go ahead and shock the Aspirant.
Okay.
But I'm still looking at 7 damage this coming turn, and I'm at 8, so I don't know how good my chances are of surviving much longer. And I'll pass the turn to you, but...
On your end step.
Oh, that's right, too.
Tap 3 to create a 1/1 vampire creature token with lifelink.
Okay,
So
that's...
Actually, that's 1, 2, and you do 3 plus that.
Okay. That's the game pretty much there, so...
I think I got a dog hair on your table.
That's okay.
That's what the dice are there for. Untapping.
I forgot about that, too, yeah.
Okay, I'll pay 1 to cast the Dauntless Bodyguard, choosing the Banalish Marshal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to combat.
Yeah.
Okay. So, 2... Oh, actually, yeah, no, that'd be...
8.
Well, I don't know what you have in your
8
hand.
exactly. I have Nimbus in hand, so we're all good.
Until you play them, and then we're
another
really
land.
bad.
I'm like, I need another land, and like, should have specified in my head, I didn't need a tap land.
That's always the way it
So-
goes. You're begging for one, you get
Yeah.
that.
I might have been able to last a little bit longer if I was able to get that last land and hadn't have missed it out, but sadly no. So, luckily though, this is best 2 out of 3. Now, you may notice these go a little bit quicker than some of the other showdowns we do, especially the Planeswalker Deck Showdowns,
Yeah.
or the Guild Kit Showdowns, which can be very stalematey.
Yeah.
And as well, too, it's probably going to go quicker in the second or possibly even third game, if there is a third game, because we're
We
not
just
going
won't
to
talk
fully...
to each other anymore. We so
No, we're just going to be nose to the grindstone, just like focused. We're also not going to read off cards that we've already read off before as well, too. I am going to look through my sideboard and maybe try to find a couple of extra answers in there. And we'll be right back, either with me showing you what I'm sideboarding in or what Travis is sideboarding in, or with the next game right now. Okay, so I am going to be doing some sideboarding, and these are the 5 cards that I'm going to be sideboarding in. As you can see, there are a couple of duplicates there, so I think it's pretty clear, with maybe the exception of this last one here, as to why I'm including it. And I am including the this one here because I have in testing a Magic Arena found it actually be kind of useful in this matchup. And these are the cards that I'm going to be taking out. Sad to see some of them go, but I think the cards that I'm sideboarding in are just going to be way more useful against this particular matchup. So they are all going out. Those are the cards I'm going to now shuffle up. But before that, Travis also did some sideboarding, so he's going to show you now what he sideboarded in and out.
Okay, now I'm not a good sideboarder, so go ahead and make your comments. I took these 2 out, and I replaced it with these 2. Because there was, I don't know. I don't know what much like revealing the opening hand, I don't want to say too much, so I'll put those there. Put those in the sideboard, and shuffle up and such.
There you go.
That's all the information.
Okay, folks, so that is all the sideboarding. Now we're going to shuffle up, and we're going to get to the second game right now. And we're back in the second game of this best 2 out of 3. Now, Travis, once again, you did not have to mulligan.
Did not have the mulligan, no.
I sadly had a mulligan down to 5. I do get to scry, which is going to be useful. I mean, there's still a chance, but it's looking pretty grim, folks. It's looking pretty grim. I'm going to need your positive energy. I'm going to show you my hand, and then I'm going to show you my scry, and then hopefully we'll get the thing that, as you guys can tell, that I probably need quite badly based on the hand here. So now that you see that, let's go ahead and look at the top card of this library. It's kind of heartbreaking. Kind of heartbreaking, isn't it? And that's going to have to go to the bottom. I don't see any other choice but have that go to the bottom. Some good cards, but not quite what I needed. Travis, I now bow my head to you, sir, and you may show off your glorious 7-card opening hand.
There would be my non-reflecting, hopefully, glorious 7. Pardon my throat there. There's cards. Look at them. Nice.
There's cards. Look at them.
Look at
there we go.
Look at them.
Look at them. Look at them.
Don't look at them. Just look at them.
Okay, so I'm going to kick things off with an island. I'm not going to lick it. I'm going to pass turn to you.
I'm going to draw.
Go for it.
And play planes I just picked up.
I hate when you do that because I'm like, did he keep a one land opening hand? And he's like super happy that he got that second one.
Did I keep a no land opening hand because I had nothing but gas? Sky Marcher Aspirant, who was about to get opted.
I'm gonna cast up. Yes. Scry 1, draw 1. Scry, son of a.
She was born to glory. Okay.
Born to it. I was born of this. And then I'm gonna draw. Okay, there we go.
Take it. He drew something good, like a mountain, maybe.
No, that was not my good expression or reaction. My turn.
I gave it to you a long time ago. What you did with it, I don't know.
Draw.
If you didn't draw on your turn and play land, that's up to you. Like,
this is kind of nasty. I'm going to play an island, and you know what? I'm not even gonna pretend or wait. I'm just gonna tap 2 to Radical Idea, draw a card. It's got Jumpstart.
if this was the game arena, you'd be like a little I think, don't you, when you jumpstart? Or is it just for if you do like a shock?
No, I think it's Beacon Bolt. I think you're thinking of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I will pass the turn now to you.
Tap.
Very blue
Mono
board going on here.
Play another planes I just drew. Man, it's worth it. to keep
in
a no
editing,
land
if I
hand.
find he kept a no land hand, I'm gonna lose my mind.
For no value, I'll Pride Mate before. There's no lifelink, so it's just a tame little kitty cat, okay?
It's a tame little kitty cat.
But I will be swinging in with my non-flying Sky Marcher Aspirant, who was born to glory but hasn't reached that glory just yet because stuff around her hasn't gotten great.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get that. I was born to glory. As long as everything around me is great, I will then be a glorious 2/1 flyer for 1. Pass back 2.
I take 2. There we go. Okay.
After my speech there.
After your speech. I just got one word running through my head the entire time.
Mountain.
Or Sulphur Falls. That'll work too. I'm going to
start burning like a firefighter from,
yeah, I'm not waiting. You're tapped out, right?
I'm tapped out.
Okay, I'm going to Shivan Fire, which is for 1 red, and it's got a kicker of 4. I'm not using the kicker. Shivan Fire deals 2 damage to target creature. If the spell is kicked, it deals 4 damage to that creature instead. I'm going to actually do it to your Pride Mate.
Just in case.
Oh, I'm so glad that Falls fell. And now I'm going to pass the turn to you. Oh, that makes me feel so much better.
Okay, I'm going to play Plains.
Mm-hmm.
Tap all 3 for everyone's favorite Marshal, the Banalish Marshal.
Ooh, okay.
He be out. So my Sky Marcher Aspirant, who was born to glory, is now a 3/2, and she's going to combat.
Going to combat. So I'm now taking 3, so I'm down to 15.
Down to 15, sir.
Okay.
Once again, tapped out.
End the step. I'm going to have a radical idea.
Does that draw a mountain?
It'd be great if it did. And then my turn?
Yes, sir.
Untap. Draw. I'm going to play an island. I'm going to tap 2, include 1 red, and I'm going to Lava Coil. It's a sorcery. Lava Coil deals 4 damage to target creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile instead. That's all about the Marshal there.
The Marshman.
There's really no point to waiting. I'm just going to go ahead and Radical Idea again. So I've got a lot of Radical Ideas coming across here. I'm
losing my value creatures.
And that's my turn, and I'm going to pass it to you now, sir.
Turn 1 Aspirant, though. Aspirant.
Aspirant.
Drew my card, untapped. Well, hang on. Let's play that Plains I didn't just draw, and I just drew. Tap that Plains I didn't just draw, I just drew. For Leonin Vanguard. Nah, I bet you're glad that Pride Mate's gone.
I'm so glad that Pride Mate is gone.
However, my Aspirant is down. It was born to that glory. It's come back down from that glory. And he's going to swing in only 2/1. Oh, I was beginning combat my turn, and I do gain a life.
No,
I don't.
You
3
need
more.
You need, okay, so I'm going to take 2 damage.
Arena does this all for you, man.
Yes.
You hear the bing and things go off. And
which is really great with a card like Nim Visit, where I'm sure I miss triggers because it's like cast a spell, draw a card, do a damage, and all that stuff. So, yeah. Okay, so
yes, I do pass 2.
Pass to me? Okay. Untap. I'm going to do this. I'm going to tap for 2 blue, and I'm going to jumpstart this Radical Idea. So I'm going to cast this card from a graveyard by discarding a card in addition to paying its other costs. I'm going to discard the Goblin Electromancer. Now this is going to get exiled, this card here, and I'm going to draw a card. Okay. So that's a bit better. I'm going to then pay 2, including a blue and a red, to bring out the Goblin Electromancer.
Is that good? Did good stuff happen with all that?
And now I'm going to pass the turn to you.
Okay, untap. Draw. Play another planes.
Okay.
Still don't have 3 creatures, so it doesn't count, but I will go to combat.
Okay. I'm going to put this in front of the 1/1, hoping that I can force out some sort of trick from you.
You'll force it.
I'll force it.
I'm going to make a stand right here, right now.
There we go.
Which creatures I control can get +1/+0 and gain indestructible in a turn. So,
okay.
A bit of a waste. I'd like to have had it when I had good, valuable creatures around.
Yeah. Well, these are pretty valuable.
No,
this is going to get more valuable if you get to, what's it called?
City's Blessing.
City's Blessing, yeah. So the Goblin Electromancer is going to die. I'm going to take 3 now, right? Because it's +1/+0?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go down to 10.
And then I pass back to you, sir.
Pass back to me. Okay. Draw. I'm going to play a mountain. I'm going to do this now. I'm going to tap for 3, including 1 red, and I'm going to cast Fiery Cannonade. It deals 2 damage to each non-pirate creature.
Ouch. So there'll be a lot of non-pirates on the board.
Yes. Do you have a response to that, or?
I do not have a response to that.
Okay.
So they both
go to the grave. And now I'm going to pass the turn to you.
Just getting burned right, left, and center.
Oh, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the critical point where he's burned all my creatures, and I have planes aplenty.
Oh, this is an interesting choice here.
See, and I was like, take a planes out, Travis. No, you want to take a planes out. And I'm like, no, this deck is tight. It's tight.
Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to play is it Guildgate? It's going to enter the battlefield tapped. And then I'm just going to pass the turn back to you. Now, I know, folks, I have 2 Radical Ideas in there, and I know I could have used Radical Idea and discarded that, but I definitely want at least 1 more land out there.
Like that?
Yes.
So I got plenty of land. Tapping 1 mana for the Healer's Hawk.
Okay.
Passing back to you.
On your end step, tap for 1 red. I'm going to shock it.
On the end step.
You do got it. Okay.
1 more stand.
There we go. And now
I'm all out.
You're all out? Okay. So am I. So this is...
with the 1/1 lifelink on
at its
board.
finest. But the good thing is I get to draw cards.
And you have a lot. Plus you have
Okay.
all those... Well, when you Radical Idea, do you exile the card?
I exile the Radical Idea from the graveyard, but I discard this card in my hand, sort of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap for 2 blue to Radical Idea and discard this island, which I definitely don't need. So I'm going to draw a card. And then I'm going to pay for 4 to bring out the Murmuring Mystic. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 blue bird illusion creature token with flying, and it is a 1/5 creature. Travis, pass the turn to you.
All right. I'm sure what I can draw at this point, but we'll find out.
Like the Benlesh Marshal. Now I've been mispronouncing it. Now it's the how is it pronounced? It's the
I don't know. He's exiled. Benalish. I would say.
Benalish. Yeah, and I always called it the Benlash. It's the Benalish Marshal. Okay, there we go.
I had to pull him out of exile to read him, but
yeah.
Okay.
And that would be your best bet at this point, right? Oh, still.
Dauntless Bodyguard. So with Dauntless Bodyguard, enters the battlefield, whatever. Choose a creature you control. Sacrifice Dauntless Bodyguard. Chosen creature gains indestructible within a turn. Now, where's the value here? I fly 4th. I get 0. I'd have to basically sacrifice him if I were to fly 4th here.
Not necessarily. No, because this doesn't have reach or anything like this. It doesn't have flying. This can create birds, but it doesn't have flying.
Oh, okay. It doesn't have flying.
Yeah.
Oh, well then. Peck away at you,
Peck
sir.
away. I'm down to 9. You go up to...
21. I'm once again.
My turn?
Your turn, sir.
Okay. Tap. Draw. Okay, so now I'm going to tap for 2 red and 2 blue and bring out the Crackling Drake. It is a star 4 flying creature. Its power is equal to the total number of instant and sorcery cards I own in exile or in my graveyard. And when it enters the battlefield, I get to draw a card. So I'm going to draw a card, and then I'm going to see how 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's now an 8/4.
Yeebish.
I'm going to tap for 1 blue and cast Op to scry and draw a card. When I cast, now I don't have blue bird tokens, but I do have 1/1 flying spirit tokens. So I cast Op. Murmuring Mystic triggers. Create a 1/1 bird with flying. I get to scry 1 and then draw a card. I'm going to put that on top, and then I'm going to draw a card. And that's going to go to my graveyard. So now this is a 9/4. I'm not going to swing it with the Murmuring Mystic, though. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold it back, and I'm going to pass the turn out to you.
Once again, there are no top decks in this whole deck. This will eventually... No, it won't even. Tap 2. Giant's Pride Mate.
Yep.
I mean, now, I attack with that. You go and die.
Mm-hmm.
This turn. I'll get a counter out of it and gain a life.
Unless you sacrifice the Dauntless Bodyguard, in which case it will live on 1 more turn.
Yeah. So I can get a second counter on him, gain another life.
Yeah.
Guess that's what I'm going to do, because my life total don't care about being attacked in the ground, so he's not doing much good.
Now, just to confirm again before I do something stupid, you had no cards in hand, right?
I have no cards in hand.
Then I will actually put the Drake in front of it.
Okay. So I am going to sacrifice my Dauntless Bodyguard.
Okay.
Give that.
Damage still goes through, but that's now indestructible. So I'm not going to lose anything, but you're going to gain 1, and then Johnny goes up a +1 counter.
That's my mojo. Back to you.
Back to me. Okay. Untap.
Couldn't even have that like mana sinking, lifelink creating land. That'd have been pretty sweet.
I'm going to, I'm just going to move to combat.
Okay.
I'm going to swing in with my 8. Let me just
9
double check.
or
Is it
something.
9? Is it 9 now?
Dude, that last op
1,
made it a 9.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so it's a 9/4.
Okay. So I gave away my only blocker. So I'll take 9. I'll go down to 13.
Okay. And then I'm going to tap for 3 blue, 3 red. This is why I definitely wanted to put that one last land on there in case Niv Mizzet came into play. So Niv Mizzet Perrin, it's 3 blue, 3 red for a 5/5 flyer. This spell can't be countered, but you don't have counter spells. Whenever I draw a card, Niv Mizzet deals 1 damage to any target. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, I draw a card. So that's my turn, and I'm tapped out. I'm going to pass the turn out to you.
Tap 1. Sky Marcher Aspirant. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Boom! The exact amount. So you do have the City's Blessing.
I do have a flyer. So I attack. I trade. He gets a counter. Right now, a 5, or it won't be a 4 at that point. Still doesn't do much good. Of course, anytime you draw a card, you can ping both those down, which will happen too. So I might as well
swing in with it.
Yeah, this deck did not come out to not attack.
Okay.
And once again, if I waited till after combat to cast that, bluffing a spell,
yeah,
he dies. I don't get the City's Blessing.
And for me as well too, if you do have a spell, that's great because it's going to trigger Niv Mizzet to do 1 damage, and I'm going to draw a card, right? So I even have a chance of yeah. So I'll put Niv Mizzet in front of the 1/1.
Okay. So he going to die.
Yep.
You still gain a life off the lifelink though.
Yep.
So back to 14, and it goes up to 2. So I got a 4/4. Check that out. Back to you.
Okay. Now this is a 3.
Nope.
No, it doesn't gain anything. Okay.
Just a 2/1, but it gains flying.
Okay.
So I can chump one of your muddy big flyers.
I'm going to draw a card, and whenever I draw a card, I deal 1 damage to any target. So I'm going to deal the 1 damage to that.
I mean, I could have blocked if you.
I'm then going to actually pay 2 blue, and I'm going to use my Radical Idea. Jumpstart it. I will discard this mountain to draw a card. Now it's in exile, so it still counts towards him. I'm going to draw a card. Oh, and whenever I draw a card as well too. So just okay. So I'm missing triggers. So I'm going to tap 2, cast Radical Idea. That triggers the Murmuring Mystic. So I'm going to gain a 1/1 bird. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, I draw a card. So I will have draw from that.
Yeah.
Radical Idea, and then whenever I draw a card, I deal 1 damage. So
pinging down this guy.
I'm actually going to ping you.
Okay.
I'm going to ping you.
You might draw 4 cards this turn.
And then Radical Idea has me draw a card. So whenever I draw a card, I deal 1 damage. I'm going to do another damage to you.
Down to 12.
Down to 12. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move to combat.
Okay.
And I'm going to swing in with Niv Mizzet, the Crackling Drake, and the 1/1. So 9, 10, 15.
Yeah.
By air. Okay. I got super excited there, and I started missing triggers, and I know people would have pointed that out, and rightfully so, and I appreciate it when you guys do. This is what I'm talking about when in Magic Arena, and you have Niv Mizzet. Yeah, they all cascade up, and it's a lot easier for you to keep track, whereas sometimes you get super excited about what you know is going to happen, and then you forget your triggers and stuff. So that worked out way differently than I thought it was based on... You had me down to like
Burn, man.
halfway through my life in the first few turns, but you had a glut of land as well, too.
Yeah, but...
Oh, no, you did. Yeah, you did well for creatures.
So I sideboarded in both copies of Make a Stand. I couldn't use them when I wanted to because you got to cast stuff first and hope it survives long enough for you to untap and have mana.
I mean, one of the things as well, too, for me, is if I hadn't eventually drawn a red source, which I finally did turn 3 after scrying once, drawing 3 times or something like that.
Radical ideas about drawing red sources.
Yeah, I would have been dead in the water because I had the burn in hand, but I had nothing to be able to actually cast them with. Do you think you're going to sideboard, or do you think you're okay?
I think I'm okay.
I'm not going to sideboard as well, too, so we're going to jump right into the third game of this match right now. And we're back. Travis.
Yo.
I won the last game, which means that you're going to get to go first this game. Neither of us mulliganed, correct?
Correct.
Excellent. Sir. Nice way to start. So I'm going to let you show your opening hand, and then I will show mine.
There's my burn fodder. All of it ready to be burned. And opted. Stuff gets opted.
Yes. I might opt your stuff right off the board. Okay. So this is... Wow, I'm all thumbs today. This is my opening hand. Not necessarily the best, but I certainly wasn't going to pitch this for any reason. So we're definitely going to make the best of it. There we go.
Such confidence.
I like to think so. I'm just glad I got 1 win with this deck. I'm pretty happy about that. Travis?
Yo.
Proceed, sir.
We will start with Dominaria Plains. Tap that for Skymarch or Aspirate?
Okay.
Maybe? I don't know.
My turn?
Your turn, sir.
Draw. I will play the Is It Guildgate. It's going to come into play tapped. Pass it back to you.
Now, depending on what I draw here is going to prove if that was a mistake, and we may have to go through that. Let's see what I draw here. Not exactly a mistake. I'm going to untap, play another Plains. It doesn't matter because you're tapped out, so I'll just tap 1 for Leon and Vanguard.
Okay.
Tap another one for Legion's Landing.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So when it's battlefield, create a 1/1 vampire. Ping. With lifelink, and when I attack with 3 more creatures, I get to transform that. So, beginning combat, Leon and Vanguard will trigger. I'll gain a life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll swing with my only non-summoning sickness creature.
So I'll take 2.
I was trying to decide between Legion Landing 1 and Skymarcher Aspirant. So again, turn 2, you're attacking, you're dealing 2 damage, or you're dealing 1 damage and gaining 1 life. I'm like...
Yeah, I guess it would also depend on what else you had. Like, for example, if you had Johnny's Pride Mate, then...
Which would have come out in turn 2. So
yeah,
I
landing would make more sense.
That.
Yeah.
But then I looked at my hand, was about to draw, I'm like, so now if I draw a Pride Mate here, if I attack on turn 2 with this one, the balance is essentially the same here, but I'll gain that counter.
Yeah.
So that's when I'm like, I made the wrong choice. But as it turns out, I didn't draw that Pride Mate, so anyhow, back to you.
Back to me? Okay. So untap, draw. I will play a mountain. I'm going to tap 2 to bring out the Goblin Electromancer. We've seen him before. Pass the turn to you.
Untap. Draw. Play your plans.
Okay.
Okie dokie. I am going to go to combat.
Okay.
So, beginning of combat. Picking that life up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to attack with all 3, which is
going to
trigger my
flip the
Legion
landing.
So now I have access to 4 mana.
And that's now a 2/2, correct? Now because of it, it gets +1/+1, and then you gain a life because you got 3 creatures.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to probably walk into a trick here, but I'm going to put the Goblin Electromancer in front of the Vampire.
Okay. I'm going to let that happen this turn.
Okay, so I'm going to take 4.
You're going to take 4.
Down to 14.
I gain 1 life at least off that.
You gain 1 life. My Goblin lives, and your Vampire...
temporarily goes away.
Turns to dust.
Pass back to
me. Okay. I'm going to play Sulphur Falls. So we saw that before. I can tap for blue or red, and because I control a mountain, it doesn't come into play tapped. I'm going to do this. I'm going to tap for 1 blue, and I'm going to opt right now. Scry 1, draw a card.
Good opting.
Put that on the bottom. Draw a card. Opt goes to the graveyard. I'm going to force you to have it. I'm going to tap for a blue and a red, and then with the discount from the Goblin Electromancer, I'm going to cast Beacon Bolt. Beacon Bolt deals damage to target creature equal to the total number of instants or sorcery cards I own in exile and in my graveyard. In this case, it's 1, so I'll deal 1 damage to that.
Okay.
That happens. That resolves.
That resolves.
And this also has Jumpstart as well too. Yeah. So that goes to the graveyard. And I'm not going to swing in. Instead, I'm going to pass the turn now to you.
Okay, on end step. Tap 3. Create a vampire.
Yep.
Untap. Draw. Play a plane. Okay. Tap 2. The Adonto Vanguard.
Okay.
Again, he's a 1/1, but he taxes a 3/1. I can pay 4 life, and he gets something.
Mm-hmm.
A little something out of it, you know?
Gets a little something.
Can't blame him. So, go to combat.
Okay.
Gain a life off him. Am I going to attack? Yeah, I'm going to attack.
That being a 2/2 now, it's still a 1/1, right?
Yeah.
I'll put the Electromancer in front of the vampire.
Yep. I guess I'm going to attempt to save my vampire, but more I want to kill that Electromancer.
Okay.
So I'm going to make a stand. Creatures I control get +1, gain indestructible. So I'm going to gain 2, and I don't gain more.
And I'll take 3. That puts me down to 11. My Electromancer dies.
I go up to 26. And I pass to you.
Pass to me. Okay. I draw.
That was more of a removal spell than a than a save spell, which I don't know if I used that properly, but
I'm going to play a island. I'm going to do this. I'm going to tap for a red and a blue and 1 of whatever, and I'm going to jumpstart the Beacon Bolt. So it's going to deal 1 damage to, I'm going to do it on the Vanguard, because that one you simply pay life and it gets to stick around, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then this gets exiled.
Vanguard hits the bin.
Yes. Okay. So now I am simply going to pass the turn to you.
Okay. Untap. Draw.
You're 26 life. Jeez Louise.
Tapping 1. Dauntless Bodyguard. Who I guess I'm choosing Vampire Token.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
I can give him indestructible. All it costs me is my life. Okay. I will go to combat.
Okay.
Attacking with both of those.
Okay, so I'm getting hit for 4 in total?
4 in total.
Okay, so I'm going down to 7.
Going up to 27. That's my turn.
Okay, so draw. I'm going to play
Jumpstart.
No. I'm going to play Mountain. I'm going to tap for 4 and bring out the Arclight Phoenix. So we saw it before. 3/2 haste with flying. Just gonna pass the turn back to you now.
Okay. On your end step, I'm gonna tap 3 to create a vampire.
Yep.
Vampire. Okay, untap. Draw. Planes. Yeah, I'm gonna tap 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
4.
Okay.
To convoke Conclave Tribunal. When Conclave Tribunal enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield.
Okay. I'm going to tap 1 blue and cast Dive Down. Target creature I control gets +0/+3 and gains hexproof until the end of turn.
And I thought there were no counter spells in your deck.
Okay. So it lives a little bit longer.
Lives a little bit
and it's
longer.
also now a 3/5.
Here. Going to combat.
Okay.
Attacking there. Attacking there. And attacking there.
Okay. I will actually... I'm going to block the bodyguard with the Phoenix.
Okay. For no value, I'll sacrifice that.
Yep.
Because he's not going to do anything there.
Yeah. Okay.
He's indestructible.
So that gets indestructible. I'm taking 4 again?
4. And I'm
4?
up 1.
Down to 3. Jeez Louise. Okay.
Okay. Pass to you.
Pass to me. Oh, this is some bad draws. I'm going to play... Is it Guildgate? So the way this works as well, too, I'll just go ahead. I'll tap for 2, including 1 red, and I'm going to... Actually, you know what? I'll tap those 2. I'm going to cast Lava Coil. So it deals 4 damage to target creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Now, I would love it if it worked this way, but it doesn't. If I were to target the Vanguard, all Travis would have to do is spend 4 life. Your life total's at 28, right?
Yeah.
And then it would get indestructible, which means that the damage would not cause it to die, so it would not... This isn't something where it's exile creature. It's if it would die, exile it instead. I would love to target the Vanguard, but it's not going to work. So instead, I'm just going to target one of the vampires with this to exile it, which is kind of a waste for a token. And as well, too, I would have really liked to save that for the Marshal, if the Marshal was going to come out. But I'm on my last legs here, and I have to do something. I'm now going to pass the turn to you.
Don't have enough mana to activate the end step, so I just...
Thank goodness for that.
I mean, I would now.
Okay.
I just don't bluff with this deck. I don't know what it is.
No, I mean...
probably should.
Now, and you know I have no choice, really.
Yeah.
Like, well, depending on what I have in my hand, I have no choice, but...
So, go to combat, declaring both as attackers.
I will put the 3-2 in front of the currently 3-1.
Okay, I'm choosing... No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you don't really?
No.
Oh, please, please.
There's absolutely no reason not to choose. So I will pay 4 life, dropping down to 24.
Oh, man.
To make him indestructible.
Okay, then damage is going to go through. I'm going to take 1. You're going to gain 1.
Yeah.
My Phoenix is going to hit the bin. It does have a chance to come back, but it's at this point...
We've seen this before.
I'll flash my hand to the audience, and then you can see.
I'm guessing they're both there's an opt and a jumpstart. Guess you didn't opt very much, Weller.
No. Okay, well, I will play an island to sort of let you know maybe what I had before, and yeah, I'm going to pass the turn now to you.
2 mountains on the end step.
Yeah.
Create another vampire with lifelink. Untap. I'll just go to combat.
Flunged. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is my last ditch effort. I'm going to cast Shock on the Vanguard, making it so that the life totals go down a little bit more respectable.
Pay 4 life, drop to 21.
I will flash you my island and say, good game, sir.
Okay.
Good game.
I drew another Vanguard anyway, so...
Those are, especially once you started getting a bit of life gain early on,
yeah,
those are so difficult to get rid of.
And they get a boost. They get an attacking boost, so the toughness doesn't matter because you can pay your thing, but... Yeah, so they can trade something bigger later in the game, which is actually really indispensable, invaluable.
The one card that I find works really well against those is if you do get Niv Mizzet on the board, because you get such a ready supply of being able to ping it for 1 that it really starts taxing your opponent.
But even then, once you pay that, it's got indestructible to the end of the turn. But no, if you can draw a
if
card
you can trigger
stack,
it, like exactly. So, but you can ping it for 1, and then you pay the 4 life. That goes on the stack. If you're able to draw again, so if you have like ops and radical ideas, you can keep sort of like causing him to have to like put the 4 life on top of it.
Which at some point you're like, just have it. After they spent the first 4 life and the second one's coming up, like, just have it. Except for when you're in my position, we have almost nothing else going on the board, so...
This deck, it really, the lifeblood it needs is to be able to like constantly get a supply of cards coming into your hand. And when I got that little flood of land near the end there, I knew I was sort of dead in the water, because especially with the Vanguard, because like I said, the Vanguard is tough to get out.
Yeah.
All the shocks in the world are not going to stop you from when you're already at 28 life, sort of thing. So I did at least get one good game to sort of show off the deck.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it looks like United Assault is the champion of the losers bracket. So
you've got 3rd place, but
you've had quite a bit of experience with this deck now. So do you enjoy it still, or?
I do. I guess it goes against the nature of the deck to put like one bomb in there, but no matter what, you want to put something in so you can just hope. Be a little hope. And I think you could, and in sideboard even then, 2 copies of, well, you still can settle the wreckage.
Yeah.
Because I think in 3 months or so, is that getting the boot at the next?
I think so. That does rotate out. I think the Ixalan cards are going to rotate out the next time a set rotates out.
There's a lot of Ixalan cards in there, but...
Yeah. Anyways, before we close this game off, I did say that I was going to briefly talk about the Planeswalker Deck Showdown series that's happening and the Guild Kit Showdown. So let's start off with the Guild Kit Showdown series. That is going to be coming back, I want to say, in a few weeks, because Core Set 2020 is going to be released in a couple weeks as of this recording. The Planeswalker decks are going to be released. might be able to get my hands on them during the open house, which means I could be getting them a couple weeks before the actual launch. And if that's the case, we're going to try to start recording some of those games as quickly as possible. So the Guild Kit Showdown may get pushed back. There's a graphic right now showing you the current layout of the tournament. It's also going to show you the 2 matchups that have now been locked in to determine Wildcard 1 and Wildcard 2. The only one that was sort of up in the air was whether it was going to be Simic or Boros that was going to face against Gruul. And Simic just seemed to be pulling away in the comment section. So that sort of spot for the wild card is going to be against Simic and Gruul.
Have you considered just doing a buy round?
You know what? I think if we ever do this again, I am going to start just creating buy rounds, because the next graphic you're about to see is part 1 of the 3rd season of the Planeswalker Deck Showdown. Because, as I mentioned, I think I've already mentioned this, Core Set 2020 has 5 Planeswalkers coming out, much like they did with M19. And that really screws up the tournament because it's an odd number. So I'm going to have to introduce a wild card spot, because originally the seasons were 4 sets of Planeswalkers. So you had like 4 separate matches that would then go down into 2, that would then go down to the finals. But we've already had 2 Planeswalker deck sets come out. We've had Dovin and Domri, and we had Jason Gideon. So that's technically the first half of the 3rd season. And then they gave us 5 more Planeswalker decks, which means either we don't play with one and hold it back for the 3rd or the 4th season, or I do what I did with the previous season and create a second part to the 3rd season. So for this time, that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to really rethink my life after this whole Planeswalker Deck Showdown thing. So you're going to see, once again, the graphic. It's going to show you the first part of the 3rd season, the matchups, the way they're going to be sort of played out, as well as the ones that have already played out. And now you're going to see another graphic, which is literally just Vivian from Core Set 2020 and a whole bunch of blank spots for the second half of this, which means there's got to be 3 more expansions with 3 more sets of Planeswalkers and 1 wild card spot, which I'm going to let you guys vote on. And I'm going to keep that simple. All the Planeswalker decks from M19, you guys can vote amongst which one of those you want to have come back and face Vivian. Could even be Vivian versus Vivian, some Vivian on Vivian action. We don't know. So if you have liked the Guild Kit Showdown series, I apologize. It is going to have to be put on hold because people really, really love the Planeswalker Deck Showdowns. So that was sort of like the thing that we did for a long time, which people really started to enjoy. So I am going to put the Guild Kits on hold. That's why I wanted to get this Challenger Deck Showdown thing out of the way now. So yeah, there you go.
Don't apologize for Wizards of the Coast. Okay, that's what you're doing. They're flooding it.
I'm not apologizing for Wizards of the Coast. They need to apologize to me for creating all these decks
at the same time.
Yes. How many?
A couple months.
Every other year, there's been like a couple of extra pre-con decks, and then the Planeswalker decks, and then they threw in the Challenger decks. And it's like, ooh, the Challenger deck. Now there's a lot of pre-con decks. This year, it's been Challenger decks, 2 sets of Guild Kits, the Planeswalker decks, including the 5 Planeswalkers from... Oh, my God.
And there's always the one set that gets released around this that everyone says it doesn't get the love.
Yeah.
Conspiracy 2, Battle Bond, Hello Modern Horizon, Modern Horizons.
Yeah.
That's going to be the one. It's because it was literally out and gone.
It was hyped. Yeah, it was hyped up the wazoo. And then immediately, like once it was released, then we started seeing spoilers for 2020, which is just... I do hope there's a conspiracy set, but I really hope they give it a bit more love this year. Yeah. Because the second conspiracy set was great. Battle Bonds was great. The first conspiracy set, I actually think was given a little bit more time to sort of thrive.
Or they just weren't as bumping back then.
Yeah.
It might not have been a conscious effort on theirs to give it more time.
Yeah.
They just probably weren't at the rate that they are now putting stuff out, especially come, I think it's about April or so.
Yeah.
Again, we're repeating the same conversation last year, I think, where it's like, what the?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not even buying the decks.
Now, and this is the thing as well, too, I haven't bought a booster box the only booster box I've bought in quite a while have all been the multiplayer ones. The Battle Bonds, I bought a booster box, and the Conspiracy sets, I bought a booster box, but I typically don't buy booster box anymore, at least not to open up on the channel.
Yeah.
And if I do, it's going to be because we're going to do a multiplayer and we're going to do a draft or something with them. So that's why it's the Conspiracy or the Battle Bond stuff. So if they do another set like that this year, I will buy a booster box, but I'm not going to be buying a booster box of 2020 unless something drastic changes. I may actually buy a bundle because those are changing, and I do want to sort of show people those. But it's pretty much just going to be the pre-con decks from here on out. So I hope you guys enjoy that. We're also going to try to do maybe before the end of the year, maybe we're going to try to do some Pauper or something like that. But that's also going to require us to build some decks.
Brush some dust off. Decks.
Yeah.
I got decks. They're just dusty.
There's a good chance I'll be getting the set of 4 of the Commander decks, though we really didn't do any 1v1 Commander last year. Yeah. We tried to do a 4-player Commander, and it turned out to be kind of a nightmare in production, so that never got released, sadly. But so I'm still on the fence whether I'm going to get all 4, or if I can get 3 other people interested to actually buy, one of the decks. Maybe we'll all just play the decks that we each get, but I don't know for sure if I'm going to be doing the next Commander series or not. If we do, probably it's going to be 1v1 like we've done in the past. Maybe if I can work it out a little bit better than I tried to last year, we'll do a 4-player Commander game. Anyways, I've talked an awful lot about what's coming up as far as Magic goes, and that's not even including the non-Magic stuff that's going to be hopefully released by the end of the year. But Travis, thank you again for coming out and taking these Challenger decks for a test drive. We still have the finals of this, the winners bracket, which once again is going to be Travis playing Lightning Aggro.
Yep.
And I'm going to be piloting Deadly Discovery. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening to this. If you've hung around this long, you're definitely one of the hardcores, so give yourself a shout out in the comment section if you're still here, and we'll see you all in the next video.